Shutting down early? Outrage over the possibility that Metro might shut down at midnight. Students and Metro riders are upset and speaking out. A full report straight ahead.
And what next for Egypt? Mubarak is gone and the military is in. Martial law has gone into effect and the Egyptian people return back to work. District Wire News starts right now.
Good evening. I'm Kelsey Edgerly.
And I'm Stephanie Goldberg. As Metro's Board of Directors prepares their 2012 budget, they are considering new ways to save money. One of their ideas might not be appealing to college students. Darian Diolio has the details.
Metro may be cutting back on late-night services to balance its budget. Officials are considering ending train service on Friday and Saturday nights at midnight instead of 3. At its February 10th meeting, Metro's Board of Directors discussed ways to close a $72 million gap in its proposed budget for 2012 and to make necessary system repairs. Metro Deputy General Manager David Kubicek said closing early on weekends could save Metro workers about 45 days of maintenance per year. Metro also estimates that about $50 million could be saved by cutting weekend hours, which means American University students will have to rethink how they get around on weekends.
I think we all know that people like to go out on Friday and Saturday, and we don't always like to be back for bedtime at midnight. On those nights when we do decide to come home, it's occasionally after dark.
This isn't the first time Metro has considered cutting weekend services. The board discussed cutting hours last year to balance the budget, but the idea was ultimately rejected. Metro officials have not yet made any solid plans to cut weekend service. Darian Diolio, District Wire News.
Pepco is giving a huge handout to their shareholders. The power company has announced they will make a $60 million dividend payment to shareholders to try to make up for leaving people without power last month. The January 26th snowstorm left 220,000 Pepco customers in the D.C. metro region without power. The dividend is 3 times larger than the 2009.
Just days after Egypt's President Mubarak stepped down, new protests emerge across Cairo. This time, the demonstrators are police officers. These protests come as Egypt's military leaders took control and urged reporters to return to their jobs. CNN's Andy Rose reports.
While thousands of tents are broken down in Cairo's Tahrir Square, Egyptians await the construction of their new government. 2 days after Hosni Mubarak stepped down, the military dissolved the nation's parliament and suspended its constitution. Demonstrators say now is the time to stop protesting and rebuild.
It's the most important thing now. We have to clean our square, then we have to go back to our work and to do our jobs.
A committee will propose changes to the Constitution, which will go to the voters. The military is calling the shots for the next 6 months until elections. Those in charge say their priority is maintaining stability.
Our concern now as a Council of Ministers is security.
But leading Egyptian opposition leader Mohamed El Baradei says too many questions still exist.
I am frankly started to get worried because we thought that the army would lay out the roadmap for the transitional period. So far, they have done nothing of that. They have been talking to each other. They haven't talked to the people.
Another protest erupted in front of the nation's central bank Sunday, apparently leading to the bank chairman stepping down. Egyptian police officers also protested, saying they want several things, including better pay. I'm Andy Rose reporting.
A soured relationship has resulted in 3 dead and 3 other wounded in Manassas. Jose Oswaldo Reyes Alfaro, a Salvadorian national who was in the country illegally, was armed with a .38 caliber revolver. He shot and killed his ex-girlfriend, her son, and Alfaro's friend. Alfaro was stopped by Prince William County Police while holding the machete, gun, cell phone, and other evidence.
Police are looking for someone who shot and killed a family of 3 on their farm in Madison County, Virginia. Casey Hott has the latest from Charlottesville.
This is my family. This is part of my family.
Robert Anthony says he was attending a church meeting on Saturday morning when he got a phone call saying that some of his relatives had been killed.
I really come not just as a family member, but just also to console these people.
Dozens of friends and family members gathered at Sanford Farm in Madison County, where police are now investigating the death of 3 family members shot in their home.
The Madison County Sheriff's Office, in cooperation with the Virginia State Police, has started an investigation, probably an extensive investigation.
Madison County Sheriff Eric Weaver says he expects the investigation to continue through Sunday.
We have additional manpower, additional equipment coming to the scene to assist in this investigation.
In the meantime, those close to the victims are left wondering exactly what happened to a family described as friendly and loving.
This is a terrible tragedy, where it's a husband and wife and one of the children has left us, and we don't have all of the pieces to the puzzle.
Arizona Representative Gabrielle Giffords is regaining her ability to speak after being shot in the head at point-blank range last month. Giffords is mouthing song lyrics and beginning to speak in complete sentences. She lip-synced the words to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and has been filmed mouthing the lyrics to Happy Birthday for her husband. She was even able to speak over the phone to her astronaut brother-in-law in space. Doctors say the fast pace of Giffords' recovery is a sign that she may be able to fully recover from the shooting.
Young people are more likely to have a stroke, says a Center for Disease Control study. The study says that children between 5 and 14 stroke rates increased over 30%. The biggest increase in strokes was in men aged 15 to 34. The opposite pattern was seen in older people. Stroke rates declined about 13% for both men and women. Strokes still claim the most amount of lives. Doctors from the American Stroke Association say the numbers could mean that the epidemic of obesity is taking a toll on young Americans.
Smarter is cutting through the clutter on Twitter. Smarter is the application for those who use Twitter as a news feed and not as a social networking tool. The application for Apple devices offers a break from the updates of what friends are doing or thinking. Instead, Smarter pulls out less important updates and keeps in links about news, business, and politics, and even provides a small preview of the link. Coming up after the break, a new federal budget from President Obama.
Find out where the money's going and what's being cut. And will the budget make taxes go up or down?
And those budget cuts might make a difference for students on financial aid. Some big changes coming for Pell Grants, a full report straight ahead.